tomorrow the davening. Okay.
Sorry, just the 22nd of October, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Okay,
What were
thank
you
you.
saying, Rabbi, when I interrupted you?
Yeah, no, I was just going to mention tomorrow the davening is going to be a little longer than extra, so I may be delayed a bit in starting tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. I'm going to try to start on time, but if I'm a little bit delayed, the basically the reason why.
Okay, yeah, it's
Okay.
Bahab.
Yeah, Bahab will be starting Bahab tomorrow, and haven't changed the clock, so it's a little bit later than regular. So, all right, we'll try our best to start on time. That's a shot. Okay. So yes, as Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Samanapshi here in Yerushalayim Kiryat Zoom. We are currently learning about the concept, the Chazal, that the Torah was only given to those who are Ochli Man. What's the background of that statement? So as you see on your document that you may have printed out or you may have on screen, we'll pick up from the paragraph number 4, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure which document now. I've got too many of them here.
Me too.
You have to file them when we finish one. You have to file the other one away.
You're too prolific, Rabbi.
Well, it's not me. This is all been written before. I'm not. It's not mine.
Paragraph
But
4.
Let's see.
yeah, it starts the first statement in that document is I say Hashem, Ma'aseh Torah Perek Beis, Parshas B'Shalach.
I say Hashem is a Masechet Avot.
No, that probably.
Oh yeah.
I say Hashem.
That's right.
Oh, okay, I have it. Okay.
I have it too.
Okay. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So let's start with number 4.
Okay, got it.
Paragraph number 4. Yeah. Mayor or who would like to begin to read?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Vayomeru Zal Ki Lo Nisva Torah Ella Le Osam She'achlu Haman. So the sages said, since you cannot nisna, I forgot what nisna means.
So Chazal say lo nitne Torah ela laosam she'ochle haman. The Torah wasn't given except to those who were eating the man. Now the simplicity, the basic fundamental understanding of this statement, I would say, as follows: that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave the Torah at Har Sinai to that generation who was eating man. Okay, I would say that's the basic statement that's being said over here. However, Chazal expand this to apply to all generations and all such circumstances. That it was sort of like there's a general rule, Maisa Avos Simin Labanim, that the behavior, the deeds of the forefathers are a simin, or an indication to how the children, the following generation, should also act. So if the Torah was given to those who were eating man, right, that's also in beyond the basic, what you might want to call historical fact, but it's also a directive from a Kadosh Baruch Hu through his medium of Chazal, that those who want to acquire Torah have to be similar to those people who are eating the man in the midbar, and for that you have to understand what does it mean to be eating the man, and if a person's fulfilling that, then he will be fit to receive the Torah, and if he's not, then he will not be fit to receive the Torah.
Huh.
Okay, so that's what it means. Chazal say, Ki lo nitna Torah ela la'ochli haman. Right, since it was that the Torah was not given except to those who were eating the man. Okay.
Okay. Below chashasho lehosir ba'ad machar. And they're not concerned for extra for the sake of tomorrow. In other words, they don't worry about where their food's going to come tomorrow.
Correct. Correct.
Below,
Once Roy wants to come in also, let's see. Roy come in also. Okay. Yeah, continue on, please.
below nisna leosam shalo achlu kol haman aval ho siru ba'ad machar. And it was not given to those that don't eat all the man, but Osiru is they keep the extra for the sake of tomorrow.
Right. It wasn't given to those people who didn't eat all the man, and rather they kept some of it for tomorrow.
Promotion Amar the week 2 Devar Yom Biyomo Leman an Anasnu. And this is like what is stated that they gathered the thing of the day for the day, for its day, in order to, what is anasnu?
In Laman, in order to have us been tested, meaning there was commotion. Emor, it says in the pasuk, we lick to davar yom b'yomim Laman nasnu. It was gathered each and every day in order that we should be tested. You want to look up the pasuk? It might be worthwhile seeing the pasuk.
Okay.
I'll show you where to. I'll show you. It should be in Parshas Bashalach. If you have a shmos by you.
Okay, Shmos.
Okay.
Shalach.
Okay. Okay, 1 second. One second. Okay. Let's see where it is here. Yeah, it should be in Parsha Bashalach. Perek Tes Zion Pasuk Dalit.
Het Zion.
Good morning, Roy.
Good morning, Rabbi. First, sorry I'm late.
Okay, fine.
Good morning, Roy.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Lou. What paragraph are we on?
We're on paragraph number 4, the 2-line paragraph number 4, and we're looking up the pasuk that's quoted at the end of that paragraph 4, which is in Parshas Peshalach, Perek Tes Zion pasuk Dalit.
Knowledge. Okay, so Hashem said to Moshe, behold, I shall rain down for you food from heaven. Let the people go out and pick each day's matter on its day, so that I may test him, whether he will follow my Torah or not. So, anasenu is the word for test.
That's right, Mike. That's we will see that in the parshas of the Akeda. We'll get to that in another parsha from now. That or it could be, excuse me, maybe not. Maybe it's going to be at the end of this week's parsha. You see, 1 second. Parshas left. Yeah, I believe so. It'll be right. It'll be right. No, I think it'll be at the end of next week's parsha. The Akeda, that's the same expression that's used by testing Avram Avinu. Kadosh Baruch Hu's introduction to the Akeda, that if you look in Perek in Bereshis Kav Beis, Pasuk Aleph, Bereshis Kav Beis Pasuk Aleph, you see that expression also.
22. Okay. He said,
Vayhi achar hadivarim ha'ela v'ha'elokim nisa. Nisa is our word.
That's right.
Es Abraham.
Right. Right. Nisyonis are tests.
Right.
So that's so the man was also given to, and this was to everybody in Klal Yisrael. Everyone who came out of Mitzrayim, everyone was tested by the man. So that's a whole separate discussion in what and how many different ways they were tested by the man. But the real purpose of the man was not there just to feed the people. Kadosh Baruch Hu could feed Klal Yisrael in any way he wanted to, but he fed them using the vehicle, the means of the man, because the man was the vehicle, the medium by which Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to test each and every Jew that was there in the Midbar.
Right. And the test was that the person would gather one day's worth and eat the whole thing.
Right. Not to leave any over, and there wouldn't be any. Even if he left it over, it would disappear. It would melt or rot.
Right, but then he would fail the test.
Right. And he would hopefully learn, and he'll do better the next day. So as I was saying last time when we started learning this, so in our day and age, the way we live is very, very, very difficult to even approximate this concept, this way of life. You know, we have cupboards, we have refrigerators. Even if not, we have a store down the block or around the
Right.
in the car. You know
Well,
the
not only that, Rabbi, but there's also the question of hishtadlus.
right.
It would seem to me that if a person actually lives this way, that he would be guilty of not doing the proper hishtadlus.
Well, he may be guilty, but he may not be getting the Torah that Hashem wants to give him. Then, so you have to think about it. How this applies to the other generations of Klal Yisrael that didn't live with the man, didn't live in the midbar, right? So how does this? I mean that's the complaint that Rashi. If you take a look at this Rashi, there's a Rashi here, and also I believe it's in Parsha. Yeah, also in Parshas Bashalach. Take a look at this Rashi in Parshas Bashalach. Where is it? It's also by the Parshas of the Man. Um, second. Okay. Okay. Um, Gimel, 1 second. Gimel. Yeah, if you take a look in also in Parshas Bashalach, that would be in again Parshas Tes Zayin Lamed Beis. Lamed Beis.
Zion.
32. Okay. Vayomer Moshe Zeh Hadavar Asher Tziva Hashem Melo HaOmer Mimenu LeMish Meres Ledoro Seichem Leman Yir U Es Ha Lechem Asher Hechauti Eschem B'midbar V'hotzi Eschem Me'eretz Mitzrayim. Okay, so Moshe said, this is the thing that Hashem commanded without an Omer Oh no, a full omer. For safekeeping for your generations, in order that you will see the bread, the food that I fed you in the wilderness,
Right.
took you out of the land of Egypt. So what is the point of this?
Oh, so take a look at Rashi.
Rashi, for storage. For your
Now, the question is, why do you have to store it? Why do you have to store this? Right?
right.
And don't forget, the man didn't last more than till mid-morning, right? By the midday, it was all evaporated or melted, right?
But this month lasted forever, didn't it?
Yeah, it's around even today. We don't know where it is, but it's around. So that's another point that we have to discuss. But let's go through the Rashi.
So it says, for your generations, in the days of Jeremiah, where Jeremiah would rebuke the Jews, saying, why do you not engage in Torah study? They would say in response, if we were to lay aside our work and engage in Torah, from where would we derive our livelihood? He brought them out the jar of manna.
That's like Frickus is saying, right? We have to do ishtadlis. We have to do ishtadlis, right?
Well, I mean, we always have the the balancing act that we have to perform. I mean, Shishtalis is not an invalid concept. We have to do. I mean, Nachshon and Minadav went in up to his neck, and then Hashem split the sea. But right. It was necessary for him to go in up to his neck. He couldn't just stand on the shore and say, "Okay, Hashem, do your thing." He had to participate. So, right. So here too, it's a balancing act that you have to know how much to do and how much to not do. How much, right. How much faith you should have, and how much you should say, "No, I have to do my part." Right. So it seems to me that in at least in nowadays, if a person just says, "Okay, I got food for today. That's it. I'm not working anymore. I'm learning Torah now." That would be insufficient hishtadlus, I would think.
Well, look, I mean, they were in the midbar. There was no supermarket. They could run off the next morning and buy another 2 rolls of bread and a bottle of milk. If the man didn't come down that morning, the next morning, what's going to be? You can't go back to Mitzrayim to get milk and bread, right?
Right.
Didn't they say, Ein Kemach, Ein Torah, Ein Torah, Ein Kemach?
Right. That's also true. Right.
So you have to do both, really.
Yes, but so
better grind that wheat, Rabbi.
No. They didn't say ein chita ein Torah. It said ein kemach ein Torah. It also didn't say ein lechem ein Torah ein lechem.
Right.
You have to understand why it said specifically kemach. That's another story.
What does kemach mean?
Flour.
Flour. So I said you got to grind the wheat to get the flour.
No, it doesn't say. It should have said ein chita then.
Well, what does chita mean?
Wheat.
The grains of wheat.
Okay, so but what I'm saying
there are three madregas. There's a madrega of grain, then there's a madrega of flour, and then there's the Madrega of the bread, right? And each
Right.
one has a tremendous amount of work in each one of those things, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm
So,
saying
you
is
know,
we were on a certain Madrega in the midbar. We're not on that Madrega today. So we have to do more Histadlus than they did.
are you on mute? Well, so I mean that well, okay, so go back to Rashi and see what Yirmi was facing the people with.
He showed them the jar of manna, and he said to them, "See the word of Hashem." It does not say here, rather it says see, indicating that he produced the jar of manna for them to see. Jeremiah went on to tell them, with this manna, your ancestors sustained themselves. The omnipresent has many emissaries to prepare nourishment for those who fear him. So, in other words, what he's saying is that you should be doing just like them, just preparing, just getting your food for today.
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, what was the again? Don't Rashi's explaining to us why Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu to put this sentence of man away, right? He said, put this away for generations. Why? So, because it'll come in the time that Yirmiyahu was going to try and convince the people. You asked him, well, why aren't you in again? Yirmiyahu, don't forget, Yirmiyahu lived at the time of the Churban Bayis Rishon. He was trying to change the whole situation. He was trying to avert the complete destruction of Klal Yisrael. That's for sure.
Well, I still think it's a lesson, but it's a matter of degree. I think that the lesson is you need to be learning Torah, but how much? And you need to earn a livelihood, but how much? And I think that probably what happened was that people had gone too far in the direction of Histadlus. They were doing too much Histadlus. So he was correcting them. He was saying, no, you got to do less, but I don't think he was saying you should do this minimum level where you only get food for today and you don't know where your food is coming tomorrow. That seems too far.
Well, I mean, so what are we supposed to do with this Chazal that ain't nitna Torah elas ochli aman? That has to have some relevance.
So I would say that we have to be asking ourselves, am I doing too much? Am I learning enough Torah? Am I doing too much Histadlus?
All right. I'll tell you what. It's a complicated subject. Let's continue on. We're gonna be moving on after the first 6 paragraphs. We're gonna be moving on to a tshuva from Rav Moshe Feinstein. We'll see how this is brought into daily lives. We'll see.
What is our view of soliciting charity? A person doesn't plan ahead for the wedding of his child, and the time comes for the wedding of the child. He doesn't have any money, so he goes and begs for people to give him charity. Is that I mean, to me, that's improper.
Well, let's leave that question for later on when we get more familiar with the basic subject matter, and then you'll draw your own conclusions after we've learned a bit about the subject.
Okay. All right. So we're up to 5.
Right.
Uma'anin she'ne'amar she'karu oso man. So what is this word ma'anin?
I mean that's the from Indian, the meaning the concept that's spoken about. Shneimar Koro Soman, right? This concept
That's spoken about when we talk about the man. Ladati haya sham min kitanis she haya nikra man. One should know that it is mean from it is there from a little bit that it's called man.
the Indian Shinema Koro, so they call the people call this what was given to them. They called it man, right? So the deity, in my opinion, highest shame min haktanis nikra man. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a name min katanis of a type of a small thing, which is called man.
V'chein mitzia mitzatsi be'eretz
Poland, I think it's Poland.
What does that mean?
I found him. He found in Eretz Poland, meaning in the land in the country of Poland. It was referred. Things were referred to as man.
Oh, Aval Haman Hahu Lo Haya Lo Demion Rock the Hayoso Agol Kizera God Levan. But the man was not for him. What is demiun?
It's a dimion, meaning a similarity. Lo haya dimion. There was nothing similar to it, except this.
Okay, so but the man this man, there's nothing similar to it except the miuso agol kazera God Levan, except a similar white seed.
Yeah, this is you. If you look at the pasuk, this is also a pasuk, right?
Coriander seed.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right, very small, very minuscule, right? Very small.
Right, a very small coriander seed that's white.
Right.
Aval inyan hatam kivar haya inyan nesuye kitsafi chis de bidavash. But the concept of the reason is the concept of a test. I don't know what this fee piece is.
But that's also part of the pasuk, right? Kitsabisis b'devash. That's also in the parsha of the man bashalach. Where is it? 1 second. Yeah, that's in again chapter Tes Zayin in Shmos pasuk Lamed Aleph.
Lamed Aleph. Okay. Vayikre'u Ves Yisrael Es Shemo Man Vahu Kizera Gad Lavan Vitamo Kitzafi Pis Bidavash. So it was called man, and it was like the seed. I guess God is coriander. It was white. With tamo, and in its taste, kitsafi piece is like a wafer. Bidavash. Fried in honey. So kitsafi piece is fried.
I think so. Yes.
Okay, so it's fried in honey.
Right. So it's just a very bare minimal, of a type of a cracker with some sweetening to it.
Okay, so what's the point? Let's see. What do I care what it tastes like? Well, why is he telling this? Why is he bringing this? I mean, I understand why the Torah explains it, but what's the relevance to the point here?
No, because he's trying to explain to you that it was something which was pleasant. I mean, it was it was necessary that it be pleasant tasting as well. It wasn't simply just nourishing, but it was somewhat pleasant as well.
Don't we have a midrash that says it tasted like whatever you imagined it would taste like?
Yeah, there's such a measure that if a person wanted to, but it had its basic fundamental flavor as well.
Uh-huh.
Like a candy bar.
Sort of, yeah, right, sort of like that.
Okay, so he's saying that he found that in Poland they had something that they called man.
No, they had in the Polish language they had something which was referred to as something which was man, which was a very small, minuscule type of a thing. That's just using that as a reference to show that it was understood that it was a minimal amount, wasn't a large amount.
Because that's all you need.
Yeah. Right.
Ulechach ne'emar vayir'u b'nei Yisrael vayomeru ish el achav min hahu manhu, and therefore they said Vayir'u, and they saw the children, the Jewish people saw,
Right.
and they said, a person to his friend, this is man.
Right.
So the people saw that what Yirmiyahu was showing them, and they recognized what it was. Klomar Sharu Oso Kodem Sheyit Amo Amru Manhu. That is as to say, that it's proper before what is Shayit Amav? Rabbi?
Excuse me, Lou?
What is the word Shayit Amav?
Shitamav, that the point being that that they will taste it. Kolomashu also kodem shitamu. They saw it, meaning they shiro, so kodem shitamu. Amru manhu. When they saw it, even before they tasted it, right? They questioned and they said to each other, manhu, like what is this?
Ah, but there, I'm confused. This is Yirmiyahu is showing them a container of man, right?
Oh no, this is now going back to the midbar. What we're reading now in paragraph the paragraph number 6. That's in the in what's the reference to the parsha in Bashala.
Okay. Aval achar shit tamo es tamo yado shit eno oso min ha mehakatanis she nikra man. But after that they tasted it, that they tasted the taste, yado is to know or in his hand?
That now they knew, right? With the iron makes it into they knew.
They knew that it was not from the little stuff that's called man.
If you what do you call the poppy seeds? I think they call them man also. Poppy seeds, the little black seeds. You see them sometimes use them as fillings for kumatashen and other
Right.
things. So these little black seeds.
So they saw poppy seeds and they thought it was man.
Right. Well, also, why they call hametashen? Haman is Haman.
Uh-huh.
Remember that for Purim time. We'll discuss more about it then.
Okay. V'am kol zeh, v'im kol zeh, l'hayoso dome b'chush rayus k'ri'uhu man. And if with all this, Dome is similar to?
Right. Doma.
And what is Bechush?
There's sense haros, there's sense of sight. Sechush is a sense haros, koruman, that through their sense of sight, they called it man because of its being small and minuscule.
Yezehu shene'amar vayikre'u ves Yisrael es shemo man. And this is what they said and called, and the Jewish people called its name Man. Ki'ilu ne'amar afilu she'eno man kar ohu kan. As if they said even that it's not man, that they called this.
Meaning even if it wasn't man itself, but nevertheless they called it that because it looked like it. It had the appearance of these things which are minuscule.
So the generation of the wilderness. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rabbi.
No, that's what I had to say.
Oh, so it sounds like the generation of the wilderness was very confused by the man. They didn't know what it was. They called stuff that wasn't man.
Right. It was. That's right. It was confusing. They were confused by it. Correct.
Uh-huh. So what do we learn from that?
So this is actually the introduction to the answer to your question, meaning the man is given as a test, right? So part of the test is there's not a definitive answer to this, meaning just as Avraham Avinu was tested by Kadosh Baruch Hu, should he kill Yitzhak, his only son, or should he not? It wasn't given to him. He was unsure of that. He had to come to a conclusion what Hashem wanted from him, right? So the man also, person has to come to a conclusion of what Hashem wants from him, right? And that's confusing. That's like you were hinting to before with your questions about Ishtadlis. Questions about Ishtadlis are very difficult questions because there's no two situations which are equal and there's no general rule.
Right.
So the man raising is a symbolic archetypical statement from the Torah to represent that this is what's required of us, to really know fully and completely what Hashem expects of us. And so this is the beginning. This is the beginning of addressing some of the questions we were asking earlier and last week as well. So okay, well, we'll need to take a break now anyway, but we'll continue with this with the document then tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem. And hope to see you all then. And we'll take a short break and start the shiur, Mr. Brewer, shortly. Mitzvah Hashem.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I won't see you tomorrow.
Oh,
Our wife is having an operation on her eye.
Oh, she should have her
right.
full
Shalom.
shalom.
Thank you.
Hatzlacha Rabbi Shalema.
Yes.
Be well. Okay, see you
Okay.
in a few minutes.
Okay. Very
Okay.
good.